article that came out October 30th, 2017 in the Lansing State Journal, and I will leave the link to this article in the description box. Police chief, we are losing battle against opioid plague. Lansing Police Chief Mike Yankowski started his policing career during the crack cocaine epidemic in the 1990s. But the country's growing problem with opioids is worse, he said. Lansing City Council ununanimously passed 2 resolutions that will allow the city to proceed with litigation against manufacturers and distributors of opioids. First, the council declared the city's opioid plague a public nuisance and then approved outside legal counsel for opioid litigation. Do you know none of the drug addicts get a dime of that money when they sue the manufacturer or the pharmaceutical companies? They don't get nothing. It's the deadliest drug market we have seen since crack cocaine, but it's head and shoulders above. It's long surpassed the crack cocaine epidemic. Absolutely. Yankowski told city council members during Monday's committee of the whole meeting, it can't compare. As much as the country has been trying to get ahead of the opioid plague, we are losing. So we're fighting back against a terrible scourge because it is costing lives, destroying families, and undermining the safety of our neighborhoods, Bonero said. Our experience is Lansing is a microcosm of what is happening across the country. There's 33,000 lives are being lost annually. Countless families are being destroyed, and hundreds of thousands of addicts are being incarcerated after turning to crimes to support their addiction. Didn't I tell y'all that? They can't keep these people out of jail. It's impossible. Hours later, City Council heard from Bonero. And they were just talking about the devastating effects of opioid addiction. The Lansing Police Department estimates that opioid plague has led to increased enforcement costs of $748,995.75 in the last 3 years. Yeah, I guess they are, because you have the increased 911 calls for help. Yankowski said 15% to 20% of the people treated with Narcan, a drug used to treat opioid overdoses, are repeat offenders. So they're not trying to get off of the drug. Right there, that tells you right there. Emergency responders administered the drug an alarming 243 times in 2016, according to the resolution declaring the opioid plague a public nuisance. The fire department estimates it has incurred costs amounting to $107,775 in the last year. But it's not just about the cost, Yankowski said. The thing that comes back and hits me the hardest is that people are dying, Yankowski said. People are dying every single day in this community and all over the country. And that has indirect costs, Talaferro said. Look at the children losing parents or parents burying their children, which is not normal, he said. It's significant to note that many deaths occur in people who are otherwise healthy. The impact on first responders treating people who have overdosed can sometimes lead to post-traumatic stress disorder, Talaferro said. It is certainly a public nuisance, he said. Dave Middleman, an attorney with Church Weibel, said he wants to be Lansing and Mid Michigan's local liaison in the country's growing lawsuit against Big Pharma and national distributors of opioids. He said his firm and the Bernstein law firm have been talking to 81 counties in Michigan about this issue. These are really deceptive drug cases. Yeah, they are, you know, but you know, it's also common sense to know going after these pharmaceutical companies, all they're doing is just dishing money out, but they're not stopping the drugs from being out there. The drugs are still there. And you know what happens when people don't have access to the drug. They will just turn to the drugs out on the street. So if they're not even looking at that, they're not going to conquer this thing just going after the pharmaceutical company. In the meantime, China is shipping over fentanyl. Mexico is bringing meth over the border. You know, you got all this stuff going on, and you got opioids coming across the Canadian border. It's coming across all of the borders around the United States. So, you know, I understand where they want to go after the pharmaceutical company, the makers of these drugs, because they did kind of deceive the public on how safe these drugs were. And you're finding out, of course, way too late that these drugs are really too dangerous to even be out here. But in the meantime, the people that manufacture and distribute these drugs are all billionaires. All of them are billionaires. All of them. Okay. So, they're just talking the typical stuff about going after the manufacturer. So I'm not going to really get into the last part of it because they're just talking all the legal stuff. And that's not going to really do this drug plague any good. So I wish them the best with their lawsuit, but I have to agree with this police chief. They are seriously fighting a losing battle, period. Please tell me what you think, ladies and gentlemen. Please leave your comments and subscribe, and tell me what you think in the comment section. I do love reading your opinions. They are really important to me. Peace, family.